Washington Post reporter Jenna Johnson is in Washington. Thanks for joining us.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Jenna, your colleagues at the Washington Post, they are reporting that Trump's call with Taiwan was long planned. What do you make of this? Was this a mistake or was this intentional?
That's exactly what his aides are saying, that this wasn't just an accident, that this wasn't something that he did without realizing what the blowback would be. There's a lot of foreign policy advisors around him who have long said that Donald Trump's going to take a very different tone when it comes to China. We saw that on the campaign trail month after month with him saying that he was going to stand up to China, that he was going to do things very differently. And this was supposedly the first step in taking a very firm, very different approach.
Jenna, the diplomatic firestorm with China has increased the focus on Trump's selection for Secretary of State. We have former Utah governor and ambassador to China, Jon Huntsman, who is now reportedly being considered, as well as Democratic Senator Joe Manchin. Where does the search stand?
Well, last week, the search seemed to have been narrowed down to 4 finalists. Since then, it has widened. It has grown. There's a long list of people who say that they're being considered. There's a long list of people that people within the campaign say are being considered. Newt Gingrich was on television this morning and said, from his vantage point, if Donald Trump was happy with Mitt Romney, who was seen as the early frontrunner for this position, that he wouldn't be expanding the search, that he would have announced it by now. So we're waiting to see. This is a very key position, and that call with Taiwan showed us just how important it'll be to have one voice, one prominent voice in place that can explain the president-elect's strategy around the world.
Now, one cabinet position has been announced today. After some reluctance, Dr. Ben Carson, he will be nominated as the Secretary of Housing and Urban Development. What kind of reaction can we expect from this appointment?
Well, this is an appointment that he himself had to think about for almost 2 weeks. He had said that he would feel like a fish out of water in a cabinet position. You have to think that comments like that are going to come back up during hearings on the Hill. His own reluctance to put himself in a leadership position. But people at the campaign are saying this is an opportunity for Dr. Carson, an opportunity for him to really have an impact on the lives of low-income African Americans living in inner cities, and also to carry out this campaign promise that Donald Trump made to dramatically improve life in the inner cities.
Jenna, some interesting news today about Ivanka Trump. She will meet with Al Gore to discuss issues related to climate change. What's your reaction to that, and what role do you see her playing in this administration?
Well, as soon as that news came up in a call with reporters this morning, Twitter just was abuzz with talk of what this is and why she was doing this. Ivanka Trump is not registered with a political party, and she's already pushed her father to take on some positions that are typically embraced by Democrats. She was behind his child care policy proposal, which was seen by a lot as more of a liberal than a conservative approach to making child care more affordable for people, especially for working class people who might not be able to afford it as easily. So it'll be interesting to see what comes of this meeting. At this point, there's no plan for Al Gore to meet with the president-elect, but they will all be in Trump Tower. Questions that remain are, will Ivanka push her father to change his position on climate change? Up until this point, he has said that it's a hoax, that it's this made-up problem that the Chinese made up so that they could steal manufacturing jobs away from the United States. So everyone's watching to see if he firmly changes that position in the next couple of weeks, and if his daughter, who is very, very influential, what sort of role she plays when it comes to that issue.
Definitely an interesting development. Jenna Johnson, always great to see you. Thank you.
Thank you.